Hashtag Trending would like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers a complete networking stack, wired, wireless, and cellular, in one integrated solution that's built for performance and scale. You can find them at meter.com/HTT. Tim Cook retirement rumors grow, but markets barely notice. Elon Musk hints that Tesla may build its own chip fabrication plant in just 2 years. Jeff Bezos steps back into a CEO role to launch a mysterious new AI startup. And a manager tells an employee working at 1:47 a.m. to log off. And the world cheers. Welcome to Hashtag Trending. I'm your host, Jim Love. Let's get into it. There's been fresh talk about Tim Cook stepping down as Apple's CEO, and over the past couple of weeks, the chatter has gone from background noise to something investors might be watching. Cook has only said one firm thing about his retirement, that he wouldn't run Apple past 2030. But that was years ago. Now, new reporting says Apple has stepped up its succession planning, raising questions about whether he could leave as early as next year. Cook's track record is enormous. When he took over in 2011, after Steve Jobs and filling rather large shoes, Apple was worth a few $100 billion. Under his leadership, it hit a peak near $4 trillion. Even the critics who say that Apple has lost some of its product edge acknowledge the financial performance is unmatched. In terms of succession, John Turnus, who leads hardware engineering, is seen internally as the front-runner to replace Cook, but the Financial Times reports the board is also looking externally, signaling the decision isn't settled. Some investors haven't been shy about what they want. Ross Gerber, who manages several $billion in tech-focused assets, posted on X, "Apple needs new leadership. Tim has been phenomenal for a long time, but it's time for a change." But here's the twist. Even after these announcements, Apple's stock has barely moved, maybe 1% wobble over several days. For a rumor about one of the most influential CEOs in tech, that's the equivalent of a yawn. I'm not sure how Cook should feel about that. Is that the market equivalent of you've built a company so strong that it will go forward without you, or don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out? Elon Musk is back with another big idea, saying Tesla may have to build its own chip fabrication plants, or fab, to keep pace with demand. Reports suggest that Tesla apparently is going to need hundreds of millions of chips to meet their presumed demand, and is facing long delays from the producers TSMC and Samsung, two companies that dominate advanced chip manufacturing. Musk says Tesla might have to build its own fabrication plant in less than 2 years. Now, this fits a pattern. Musk has built his own AI model, a supercomputer, even explored bringing a power plant to run his own supercomputer data center. He's built a rocket that no one else thought would work. There are rumors he wants Teslas to use only U.S.-sourced parts, including custom chips. But designing chips is one thing. Building them or fabricating them is something else entirely. First of all, even among companies that are famous for having their own chips, no company designs and manufactures at scale. Not NVIDIA, not AMD, not Google, not Amazon, even Intel. Once the global standard bearer can barely keep up with building these new facilities, and they have decades of experience. And the scale of difficulty is no joke. TSMC, the company that everybody acknowledges is the absolute Goliath in this area, they're building a plant in Arizona, which is a copy of plants they currently operate. With all of that experience and all of that history and all of that skill, they started this planning years ago, and they're going to take at least 2 more years. tens of billions of dollars, and they won't reach advanced production until at least 2027. NVIDIA's Jensen Huang put it plainly. What TSMC does is extremely hard. Now, I'm never going to say that Elon won't try something just because it's a crazy idea, but maybe there's a more realistic view that if Tesla is truly about to hit a chip supply wall, building its own fabs is probably the least likely solution, but this would be a good way to apply pressure or reshape the supply chain with his current suppliers. Jeff Bezos is stepping back into a CEO role for the first time since stepping down as CEO of Amazon. And that alone is a headline. But it's also a huge mystery. He's becoming the co-CEO of a new artificial intelligence startup called Project Prometheus. Reports say it's raised more than $6 billion and hired close to 100 engineers from OpenAI, DeepMind, and Meta. Bezos has invested in some enormous ventures, Blue Origin, The Washington Post, Perplexity AI, but he's never taken the CEO seat in any of them. And that's why this move is getting so much attention. If he's doing it now, he clearly thinks this one matters. But no one seems to know what the company is building yet. In Greek myths, Prometheus stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity. But that's not a big clue. Early hints point to AI for engineering and manufacturing, but even that's speculation. The details are tightly held. But from the ambitious name and the fact that Bezos is willing to step back into the CEO role, he must think this company is transformational. What that means in practice, we'll have to wait to see. Finally, a story has gone viral after a manager noticed one of her employees still online at 1:47 a.m. And instead of celebrating the late-night effort, she sent him a simple message. Why are you online so late? This isn't healthy. Please log off and get some rest. She also encouraged him to block off personal time during the day. The employees shared the exchange and it instantly went viral. Comments have been pouring in. Can I come and work for you? This is the kind of boss everybody needs. And it's interesting how far and fast the story traveled. A 10-second note from a manager turned into a global conversation, which may say as much about us and our business lives as it does about her. But the fact that this has tapped into something that made it go absolutely viral tells you something about our work lives and our relationships to the companies we work for. Just a thought worth thinking about. And that's our show. Once again, we'd like to thank Meter for their support in bringing you this podcast. Meter delivers full-stack network infrastructure, wired, wireless, and cellular to leading enterprises. And working with their partners, Meter designs, deploys, and manages everything required to get performant, reliable, and secure connectivity in a space. They design the hardware, the firmware, build the software, manage deployments, and even run support. It's a single integrated solution that scales from branch offices, warehouses, and large campuses all the way to data centers. You can book a demo at meter.com/HTT. That's meter.com/HTT. One final note, if you're a YouTube listener or watcher, or just a supporter who wants to go onto YouTube, we're almost at 9,000 subscribers. If you could, would you give us a like or a subscribe and take us over the 9,000 mark? I'll leave that up to you, but thanks in advance. I'm your host, Jim Love. Have a terrific Tuesday.